And they'll try to do that tonight. Game 3 between the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. And in the process, the Twins hope to pair a game off the Chicago lead in the American League Central. Some parts of Twins territory dealing with some pretty heavy weather, but here in the Twin Cities, the skies are clearing. We'll get this game started on time under threatening skies. And welcome to Target Field. Bert Blyleven and Dick Bramer with you for Game 3. And on a night when we might have a window of about 2 hours to get this game in, that might be enough because the two starting pitchers tonight both work quickly and they're both very good.
They really do. I mean, for Chicago White Sox, it'll be Mark Buehrle. Buehrle over his last 6 starts has been outstanding. And first we'll look at Carl Pavano. His last 7 starts, outstanding. And since the 1st of June, 5-1, very good ERA. A guy that likes to work quick. Drew Buterra will be catching him here tonight. And for the Chicago White Sox, Mark Buehrle, 24 wins against the Twins, tied with Roger Clemens for the most wins against the Minnesota Twins since 1961. And this guy likes to work quick. He throws strikes. Tell you what, both these offenses better be ready to swing the bat.
As the Minnesota Twins enter the unofficial second half of the season, an encouraging note from the lineup. This Twins team early in the season struggled with men in scoring position, but the numbers very encouraging as we look at the Lincoln Mercury key stand.
I think also with bases loaded, we saw them hitting about 160. Now they're hitting almost 400. There's a couple guys in the lineup that have done very well with runners in scoring position. Carl Crawford leading the American League, but Delman Young second. Denard Span third with runners in scoring position. A good sign for the Twins going into the second half. And a big hit right there by Joe Mauer last couple nights. Big hits with bases loaded.
2010 season, nothing new for these two teams. Every game seems to be close. A lot of dramatic moments, and we expect more of the same in Game 3 tonight. You buy your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Anheuser-Busch. Want to go home with me tonight? I'm the designated driver. Budweiser. Responsibility matters.
The Twins and White Sox are providing the entertainment at Target Field, but here in Wisconsin Dells, there is entertainment everywhere you look. And tonight, we are at America's largest water park, Noah's Ark.
And it's a great day here. We've got the wave pool behind us. We've got food. We've got friends. We've got a little bit of everything.
Got sunshine.
And a lot of sunshine. Hopefully the Twins can continue their success against the Chicago White Sox. Last night they snapped a 9-game White Sox win streak. Let's hope they do it again. When we come back, it's Carl Pavano and the Stash taken to the mound. Dick and Bert with first pitch next on Fox Sports North.
The tarp on the field most of the afternoon, and the heaviest weather missing the downtown area to the south and west, but we know that throughout Twins territory there's some pretty nasty stuff out there, so keep an eye to the skies and be very, very careful here tonight. But in the meantime, we're going to bring you a ball game, and a big one it is, with the Chicago White Sox surging over the last month. They've moved past the Twins, past the Tigers, into first place in the American League Central.
Well, Chicago really since the 9th of June have really taken off. You can see their record 26-6, getting right back into the American League Central Division lead by a game over the Detroit Tigers. The Twins find themselves 3.5 back. And of course, the Minnesota Twins have been struggling since that time. And but you know what? That's behind them. And good win for them last night, Dick. And hopefully here tonight, a great pitching matchup between Burley and Pavano. And it should be a quick one.
The Tigers played the first half of a split doubleheader in Cleveland. They continue to struggle on the road. They lost 4-3 to Cleveland. So they lost the first 2 games in Cleveland. The nightcap, if you will, coming up tonight at Progressive Field. Danny Valencia and the Twins take the field, hoping to take care of business and win back-to-back games in July for the first time. The Menards batting order for the Chicago White Sox, identical to the lineup they won with here 2 nights ago. Juan Pierre leading off, Omar Vizquel hitting second, Alex Rios, Paul Konerko, Carlos Quentin back in the lineup, Mark Kotsay hitting sixth, and then A.J. Pierzynski, great numbers against Carl Pavano. He'll be followed by Alexi Ramirez and Gordon Beckham.
And I said it was going to be a quick ball game because both these starters like to work quick. They throw a lot of strikes. In our Chief Scouting report on Carl Pavano making his 19th start. This is his second start against the Chicago White Sox. He beat John Danks earlier this year. And one thing that Pavano's been able to do, he's been able to pitch deep in the ball games. In 18 starts, 16 of the 18, he's pitched 6 or more innings. And in 13 of the 18, 7 or more innings. And what has made him successful? He's all about adding and subtracting. A little on, a little off. Work all 4 corners of that home plate area.
Ozzie Guillen and the White Sox, of course, won the World Series 5 years ago. And Ozzie has said if this team he has with the White Sox wins the division, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, it'll be his most satisfying year as a manager because of how poorly the White Sox played the first couple of months of the year and how they have turned it around so dramatically. Here's the Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Delman Young in left, Denard Span in center, Jason Kubel in right, Danny Valencia at third, Hardy Hudson up the middle, Kadire at first, Drew Butera catching. Joe Mauer is the designated hitter.
Well, a lot of people in Chicago credit the general manager, Kenny Williams, having it kind of out with Ozzie Guillen, but Ozzie Guillen saying, hey, it's not that. It's my players. My players are pitching better. They're just playing better baseball.
Yeah, simply put, the very thing that has caused the Twins to drop back in the standings is the very thing that's caused the White Sox to soar in the standings. Very good starting pitching, and the Twins want to get back into that groove, that pattern, here right after the break. Pavano delivers strike 1.
And you can't blame it on this guy on the mound here, right here. Carl Pavano has been as steady as anybody over the last month and a half. Again, over his last 7 starts, 5-0 with an ERA just under 3.
Missing the inside edge, and it's 1-1.
And when you're out on that mound and you see a guy like Juan Pierre up at the plate, you say, okay, I'm not going to walk him. Carl doesn't walk a lot of guys. Very good control, just 1.3 walks per 9 innings. That's second best in the American League behind Cliff Lee, because this guy can steal some bases, make him hit his way on.
And he's been on 6 times already in this series. Foul back, 2-2. Pierre kind of uncharacteristically drawing a few walks in this series. He drew a couple in his last 2 plate appearances, not known as a great drawer of walks.
Yeah, these 2 guys were teammates, Pavano and Pierre, when they were teammates with the Florida Marlins.
Chop foul, still 2-2.
So they know a little bit about each other, and Carl Pavano knows what this guy can create when he does get on the base paths. Pavano earlier this year here at Target Field beat John Danks and the Chicago White Sox 3-2. 7 very good innings for Pavano in that outing. There's John Danks, the winner here a couple nights ago on Thursday night in that 8-6 Chicago win.
Had that one really awful inning when the Twins scored 6 times, but persevered, completed 6 innings. Missing inside, and it's a full count. Pierre, then Vizquel, and Rios.
Pierre, in his first season in the American League, came up with the Rockies back in 2000. This is his 11th Major League season.
Little pop-up. And Hudson comes in, makes the catch on the infield grass, 1 away.
Well, Pavano has worked the most innings for the Twins, 125 2/3 innings. Only a couple of pitchers in the American League have worked more innings than Carl Pavano. Only 114 hits, 18 walks, 1 intentional with the 71 strikeouts.
So 1 down, and that'll bring up Omar Vizquel back at third base for the White Sox. White Sox were hoping, as Pavano delivered strike 1, that Mark Teahan would be their regular third baseman, and he was until he got hurt. He broke his finger. And so now they're just trying to patch a hole at third between Vizquel and Diane Viciedo. Here's a fly to center, hit almost right at Denard Span. And out number 2. And before Alex Rios comes to the plate, a reminder that Twins baseball is brought to you in Sony High Definition. Rios hitting third for the White Sox. Having a tremendous comeback year after a couple of disappointing years, primarily with the Blue Jays. Came to the White Sox about this time of the year last year.
That's that fastball right there that I was talking about, Kevin Slowey, Dick. That's a good fastball, down and away. One thing that Slowey and these young pitchers need to watch Pavano pitch.
Fly ball hanging in the air, and Delman Young coming in, and he can't make the play, and then he kicks it away from him, and Rios will go to second with a double. Another ball that was in the air a long time, and Young and Span both closed on it, but neither got there.
Well, sometimes the ball just lands in no man's land. We saw it in last night's ball game that Span kind of backed away a little bit, and this ball right here with, you see where they're playing, and the ball sometimes just lands right between all three of them. And see Delman Young coming in, trying to knock it down in front of him, and the ball gets away.
You can see Young, as Rios made contact, his first step or two was laterally toward the gap, and then he came in. So I think that fooled him a little bit. And it's a 2-out double, getting Konerko to the plate. That clips the outside corner.
An 80-mile-an-hour changeup right there, and that's what Pavano does so well. I said in the scouting report, adding and subtracting. Great changeup, down and away on the black. Not too many guys can do that. Frank Viola could do that with his circle changeup. Santana could do it. Ratke could do it. Not too many guys can do it. Another good changeup at 81. Pavano's going to top out at 92, 93, sometimes 94, but he's all about working both sides of the plate, keeping the ball down in the strike zone. And he'll work inside, too.
2 strikes to Konerko. Fastball missing outside.
I like what Drew Butera did right there on an 0-2 pitch. He really moved outside, off the plate. But to make sure that when that pitcher starts to throw home, he sees that catcher way off the plate. That really makes you work out front.
And if you're going to miss, you're going to miss
away.
Away from the plate rather than over the middle of it. With 20 home runs, you don't want to do that to this guy. And a base hit to right field. Rios to third. Kubal's throw to the plate, not in time. It's 1-0, and the throw to second. Konerko's a dead duck. But the fly ball to short left field that dropped for a double leads to a Chicago run. 1-0, and Spann will lead things off against Burley. He does have some pretty good career numbers against the Chicago left-hander. It'll be Spann, Hudson, Maurer, Kadir, Young, Kubel, Valencia, Hardy, and Butera on the Menards batting order for the Twins. Spann takes a strike on the outside corner.
Well, Mark Burley making his 19th start for the season, his second start against the Twins. A guy like Carl Pavano will work both sides of the plate. Our Dodge Ram scouting report on Mark Burley, steadiest pitcher in Major League Baseball since 2001. This guy is an innings eater. He's a workhorse. 43rd career start against the Twins.
Bouncer right side, and Spann continues to pick up hits against Burley. So not hit particularly hard. A little four-hopper through the hole. Spann pats Burley on the backside, saying, "I got you again."
Well, one thing Burley will do, he will give up a lot of hits. More hits to innings pitch, but right here, Spann just finding that hole between Konerko and the diving Beckham in the right field. So a good start for the Twins offense.
So there goes Burley's perfect game. Orlando Hudson will hit. And Hudson, pretty good numbers against Burley, 4 for 13.
Yeah, Burley, very good pickoff move. So Spann will try to stay close to first base. Well, there's a lot of Twins that have good numbers against Mark Burley, but, again, 24 wins.
First pitch popped up in foul ground, and Konerko puts it away. Hudson gone, one away. Northland Ford defense for the White Sox. Juan Pierre, Alex Rios, Carlos Quentin in the outfield. Omar Vizquel, perennial Gold Glove winner in his prime at short, now playing third. Ramirez, Beckham, Konerko wrapped around the infield. Pierzynski behind the plate. Quentin back in the lineup was scratched right before game time last night with a bruised hand.
Kevin Slowey got him with a pitch on here on Thursday night. And the pitch inside.
We'll bring up Maurer. Joe, the designated hitter, will likely catch tomorrow. And Burley starts him with a strike. Burley making his 8th opening day start for the White Sox back in April. That's a club record for one of the charter members of the American League. Tap foul, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Burley's not going to strike out a lot of guys. 51 strikeouts on 110 innings pitched coming into this ball game. Again, he doesn't walk anybody, likes to work quick. If you're a defensive player, you better not look up in the stands because that ball could be coming home.
We saw Spann step out of the box. We just saw Maurer do that. And Spann they kicked him off. So Burley, a little payback for Denard Spann after his leadoff single. He picked him off.
Again, Burley, very good move. He leads all Major League pitchers now with 71 pickoffs since 2001.
So the base is empty with 2 gone for Maurer. And that floats low in the dirt. 1-2. Maurer with a hard one-hopper picked off nicely by Ramirez, and he throws him out. So Burley throws 8 pitches, gives up a hit, but faces just 3 men. Ducks. No, it's not a minor league team. It's the 65th year that the amphibious Ducks have traversed the wooded trails and scenic waterways of the Wisconsin Dells. And according to locals and visitors alike, you haven't done the Dells if you haven't done the Ducks. And Wisconsin Dells, a little north west of Madison. Post game coming from Noah's Ark. And we might not have to use lights for our set if these two guys pitch the way they typically do. Carlos Quentin takes a fastball up and in. Pavano had to throw a lot of pitches by his standards in the first inning, and he gave up a run, but he works quickly. Doesn't walk people. Same two for Mark Burley. 2-0. Inside 3-0. Pavano had a 3-ball count with Juan Pierre to start the first inning, but got him on a little pop-up.
Quentin, a guy that could get the green light on this pitch right here, but he takes it for a strike. Quentin with 19 home runs on the year, second behind Paul Konerko, who has 20.
3-1. Foul ball. There's only been one home run hit so far in this series, that by Gordon Beckham. The White Sox are a plus 31 in the home run department. They've hit 101, allowed only 70. And the Twins are a minus 16 in home runs. And of course, playing again without their top home run hitter, Justin Morneau, who's presumably back home in the Twin Cities area, watching the game on television. Lifted foul over the Twins dugout.
Good changeup right there, and Quentin hitting it to keep the bat alive. I got the hit, and then I picked you off.
And a bouncer foul again off the bat of Quentin.
Pavano making his 19th start in his career. This is his 7th start against the Chicago White Sox. 4 wins, 2 losses. ERA at 2.81 against the White Sox over the years. Take that.
It's the second bat that Pavano has broken, but Quentin's in that at bat, one away.
A great 3-2 fastball middle in, and Quentin just kind of got tied up right there and just hit it softly back to Pavano. Take a look at the pitch. Butera sitting inside. And Quentin getting jammed right there for the first out.
One down, and here's Mark Kotsay. Way out in front of the changeup. You know, fans would love the Twins to go out and get a Roy Oswalt. They would have loved if Cliff Lee had been obtained for nothing. And when the rotation has struggled as it has, I think a lot of people think what the Twins rotation needs is a veteran to lead the way. But in fact, they have had that. As you said, you can't lay the difficulties that the Twins rotation has had at the feet of Pavano. He's been everything the Twins could have hoped for in terms of trying to be a role model on how to pitch.
Well, after 4 miserable years in New York, you know, he got a chance last year with the Cleveland Indians, did very well there, got a chance to build up his arm strength. They came over here, did a good job. Twins re-signed him over the winter, and he has been the ace of the ball club. You know, there are some guys, there are some pitchers that are on that tightrope, and they're real close to maybe falling off that rope, but not this guy. I mean, if I'm a young pitcher and I came up with Jim Perry and Jim Cott, I watched how they went about their business, and it made me a better pitcher.
But I mean, would you agree, though, the Twins don't need a role model? They might need a Roy Oswalt to pitch more effective innings and be another really good starting pitcher. Here's a drive to right center field. Span racing over. Makes a nice running catch for out number 2. In terms of setting an example, how could you set a better example than what Carl Pavano's done.
Well, one thing about Pavano, I mean, he pitches his way. Okay, Slowey, Blackburn, Baker, Liriano. Every pitcher has their own way of pitching, but you can see what Pavano does. He gets strike one, he attacks his strike zone, doesn't walk anybody, but he doesn't walk anybody in a way of making good quality pitches.
Here's Pierzynski.
So to go out and get somebody and expect them to be the leader, no, this guy's the leader right here, this pitching staff.
We're back in the mid to late 80s. The presumption was Frank Viola needed somebody to be a mentor for him, and it was you. It's probably not a coincidence that shortly after you came, Twins won a World Series, Viola won a Cy Young Award and all that. But the notion that the Twins need to go get Roy Oswalt to get a veteran to lead the staff, I don't think there's any justification for that.
The reason the Twins are thinking of Roy Oswalt is because the guy can pitch. Right. We need wins. And that's something the other starters haven't been doing.
Young with the catch, and Pavano has a quick 1-2-3 second inning. Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com. Make your plans for a summertime Minnesota vacation. You're looking at water skiing on Gull Lake in the Brainerd Lakes area with more than 450 holes. The Brainerd Lakes area is also renowned for its concentration of top-rated golf courses. Michael Cuddyer to lead off the second against Mark Burley, and he takes strike one. Cuddyer, Young, and Kubel to hit here in the second. Outside, 1-1.
Yeah, as a young kid, I got to watch Bob Gibson pitch, and he threw a lot like, he had better stuff than Burley, but he worked the same way. He got that ball back, and let's go, let's play.
And that ball drifting. It's a fair ball, and Cuddyer will get a ground rule double, and the entire time Michael went to first, he gave it a half trot. He never thought that ball was going to stay fair.
Yeah, it ended up being a ground rule double, but it sure looked like the ball was off the end of the bat, that the ball was just slicing foul, but somehow it stayed fair. We cannot see it from where we're sitting right here, so Cuddyer watching it, Quentin going after it, and it does land in fair territory into the crowd. Right down that right field line. So Cuddyer gets a double, his 21st of the year.
And Burley works Young inside, missing with the first offering, 1-0. Young, of course, trying to drive the run in, but he uses the whole field, and Burley trying to pitch him inside. Fouled back as he left one up, and Young sent it to the screen. Young, the top hitter in the league with men in scoring position. And we showed you at the outset the Twins as a team doing very well in that category. The top-ranked team. So the White Sox got a pop fly double in the first, turned it into a run. We'll see what the Twins can do with Cuddyer's fly ball down the right field line.
Yeah, what Burley's going to do, fastball in, probably throw a changeup here. He wants Delmon Young to try to hit it towards short or third. Fastball, last pitch inside. See what he does right here.
It'll pop up. It'll come back into the seats. 2-2.
Delmon 8 for 24 lifetime against Mark Burley, a .333 hitter with a couple home runs. Delmon over his last 36 games hitting .364 and driving in 32 runs. His job right here, try to get, he's going to drive in a run like that.
Little bloop to center, Kadair around third, and Young delivers again with men in scoring position. And the game is tied.
Burley kept working him inside, and Delmon just got his hands out there and hit that ball softly over Ramirez at shortstop, who was racing back to try to make the catch. That's a good pitch, inner half of the plate. Delmon strong enough to hit it into short center field. Just like that, the Twins tie it as Kadair scores, and Young picks up RBI number 60 on the year.
Crawford actually passed Young and was sitting in the top spot, but Young might have reclaimed it with that base hit. Here's Jason Kubel. Swing and a miss.
Kubel not a lot of that playing at time against Mark Burley, just 2 for 8. Kubel getting more at bats now against left-handed pitchers.
That's hit to center, sending Rios back and off the wall. A hard carom toward the gap, and Young's going to score. Kubel to third. And the Twins take the lead. The ball is carrying here at Target Field tonight.
Well, the crowd here saying Kubel. Jason Kubel gave that a ride right there. Rios going back, and that ball just took off. Kubel hitting it sharply. This guy's strong, hit a long way, right off that center field wall. Rios could not catch it. He tried to play the carom, but the ball got by him. Young scores. Twins take a 2-1 lead, and for Jason Kubel, RBI number 50 on the year.
We've been at this long enough here to get a pretty good idea when a ball leaves home plate where we think it's going to land. I thought that ball would have been caught short of the warning track.
I'll tell you what, he got good wood on that ball, though, Dick. He really did.
Down and away to Valencia.
And it is, it's humid, and we've seen, I think, that last homestand we saw against the Tigers, the ball carrying a little bit better here.
Valencia takes ball 2. Valencia getting the start against the left-hander. Nick Punto starting the night on the bench. Freddie Garcia going tomorrow for the White Sox. Decent bet that Punto will be back in at third, and Tomey will be back in the DH spot tomorrow.
A lot of times you'll see a starter work out of the stretch position.
Valencia gives it a ride to left field. That's off the wall. Kubel will score, and Valencia has an RBI double. I'm telling you, Bert, there's going to be one of those nights, and we haven't had many of them, where the ball seems to really be carrying.
I think it helps, too, when Burley's leading these pitches. I mean, Valencia does not have a major league home run. He hasn't had a minor league home run yet this year, but he got good wood on this ball, too. Take a look at the location, a breaking ball right into the swing of Valencia. Pierre's is hoping to get a rebound, and he does, but Rios gets it back in. So Valencia picking up his third major league triple, picking up his fourth major league RBI, and the Twins take a 3-1 lead.
So far in the second, double, single, triple, double. And here's J.J. Hardy. Down and away, ball 1.
Well, Hardy's been swinging a good bat. 5 for 8 so far in this series, and over his last 8 ball games since coming back from the disabled list, he's hitting .379. 11 hits in his last 29 at-bats. 3 doubles, 3 RBIs over those 29 at-bats.
And that's at the knees, 2-1. 3-1 with Drew Butera on deck.
Hey, Tim, you're down at the camera. Well, Tim Laudner, Burley likes to work quick, but you know what? He's not going to overpower you. So as a hitter, you really have to wait back, don't you?
And there's a lot of talk about trying to upset somebody's rhythm that works fast. And you know what? He's not quick pitching anybody. He gets the ball and he throws it. So you know what? Don't worry about upsetting his rhythm. Get in there, have the bat ready, get a good pitch, and take a rip. If you want to upset a pitcher's rhythm, put up a crooked number like the Twins just did.
3-2 to Hardy. Bounce toward the hole, cut off by Vizquel, and an off-balance throw retires Hardy, one away.
Yeah, a little changeup right there by Burley, and he got finally a hitter to pull the ball. He was trying to do that against Delman Young, and Delman fought it off and got that RBI single right there, a 3-2 changeup. And Hardy grounds out to Omar Vizquel for the first out.
And now Butera. Twins have had some crooked numbers in this series. A 6-run second 2 nights ago, a 4-run fourth last night, a 3-run eighth, and now 3 so far here in the second. Butera taps it foul.
Well, Burley's been pitching as well, if not better, than Carl Pavano. He's 5-1 with a 2.23 ERA coming into this ball game over his last 6 starts. Of course, the White Sox have won 26 out of their last 32 ball games. But he's been back to where Mark Burley usually is, and he's very, very consistent. Pavano saying thank you very much. Drew, get me a hit.
Down and away, 2-1.
Butera with 6 runs driven in, hitting at 157.
And a called strike. Two and 2. And now a full count. With Span on deck. Burley earlier this month was granted his 10-5 rights, meaning he'd spent 10 years in the major leagues, at least 5 with the same club. In Burley's case, 10-10. He's not thrown a pitch for anybody other than the White Sox. Grounder to short. Ramirez scoops and fires, and on the play, Valencia moves to third, 2 down.
Yeah, Burley first came up in 2000, late in the season, and then his first full season in 2001. And he's really been a workhorse ever since. 9 straight seasons that Mark Burley has won at least 10 ball games, has pitched at least 200 innings, and has at least made 30 starts or more in a season.
He's had a couple of short starts, but he set as a goal another year of 200 innings plus pitched. The Twins with a good first trip through the batting order. Span got a seeing eye single in the first, and now one headed to second. Beckham has it. Twins had a runner at second, nobody out. They didn't get him in, but 3 others before Valencia did score. And the Twins get 4 hits and 3 runs in the second. Followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234. 234. Pavano with a couple of effective innings and an effective first trip through the batting order for the Twins, and a 3-1 lead for Pavano now in the third. Alexi Ramirez takes ball one. And a strike.
Well, Ramirez showing bunt right there. He's been swinging a hot bat for the White Sox over his last 20 ball games, hitting at .361, bringing that average up about 30 points.
Tapper, Valencia fires, got a very strong arm, and he throws out Ramirez. Very happy to officially, within the game, welcome once again Mike Pomerantz, who's going to be doing some work for us during what we hope will be a World Championship season. Mike, welcome aboard.
Hey, thank you very much, Dick, Bert. It's really an honor to be with you guys. I've had so much fun watching you for all these years, and now the fact that you're letting me share a little of your time is a great honor for me, so thanks.
Well, we're happy to have you aboard. I know back when I was in the TV news business, they called the sports department the toy department. So welcome to the toy department.
Hey, it's good. I'm telling you, it is good to be here, and it is a great break from some of the grind, when we have to report so much serious content during the news. This is a wonderful diversion and a lot of fun, and it's just great to be on the field and working with you.
Hey, Mike, you had to work with, Tim Laudner and Ron Coomer. I mean, come on.
Well, that was feeding me to the wolves right away, wasn't it? Was that your doing, Bert?
No.
No. I thought it was kind of funny the way you guys schedule that. Laudner and I go back a little bit with the trade that sent me to Pittsburgh was because Tim retired in spring training in 1990, and we go back and forth. And I always said that I like to think I had a hand in the 1991 World Series championship, because when you sent me to Pittsburgh, you got back Junior Ortiz, who along with Brian Harper did a heck of a job during the 91 season.
Well, Minnesota Twins thank you, Mike.
Yeah, you're welcome.
They didn't get you a ring, World Series ring, but thanks nonetheless.
They didn't give me a ring. They didn't give me a cut.
Well, a draft pick back in 1988. Junior Ortiz came over in 1990, and of course was the backup catcher to Brian Harper behind the plate in 91. Our thanks and welcome again to Mike Pomerantz.
Yes. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the postgame show.
Okay. 5 straight retired by Carl Pavano, and he delivers strike one to Juan Pierre. And Pierre slaps a ground ball up the middle for a 2-out hit. White Sox got a pair of 2-out hits in the first inning to score a run.
Well, again, Pierre on, and Carl Pavano right there knows that this guy likes to steal bases, and that's one thing that clubs have been successful against Pavano in that department. 22 attempts, 20 successful stolen bases against Carl.
And Drew Butera, the catcher, known as a very strong catch and throw guy. We'll see if he's asked to make a catch and a throw to try to nab Pierre at second base.
Again, someone that's been out there, Dick, I know in this situation there's 2 outs. Don't make a mistake right here to Omar Vizquel and then create a bigger inning. Concentrate on Vizquel. If he takes off, hopefully Butera can get him, but he does not as the ball goes into center field. And Pierre stays at second base. So Pierre, who leads the American League now with 33 stolen bases, got a great jump off of Pavano.
Butera's throw sailed into center field. Hudson with a little bit of a decoy to keep Pierre from advancing to third. You can see Pierre overslid the bag, and then first instinct said get your hand back on the bag rather than pop up and go to third. 1 strike to Vizquel. And 2 strikes.
This guy's been a lot of fun to watch over the years. Omar Vizquel, 2,741 career hits. That puts him 52nd on the all-time hit list.
Two strikes to Vizquel. When he was at short and Robbie Alomar was at second, not only was it as good as I've seen, I think it's about as good as it can get in terms of having an airtight middle infield. spectacular by both players, steady players.
Well, then you had Kenny Lofton out in center.
Right.
And a pretty good catcher, Nellamar, too.
The single by Pierre and the stolen base don't do any damage. It's still 3-1.
See, it doesn't matter.
Ago, just waiting for us to come back from commercial break, and he pitches to Orlando Hudson and delivers a strike. Hudson with a foul out to Konerko in the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Now a bouncer hit right at the shortstop Ramirez. One away.
Well, Mark Buehrle making his 43rd career start against the Twins. And in Twins history, going back to 1961, it's Mark Buehrle and Roger Clemens with the most wins against the Twins organization. Jack Morris, who's to our right here, working with Dan Gladden tonight. And then Chuck Finley, a former teammate of Mike Mussina, and Mel Stottlemyre with 22 wins. I would have thought Jim Palmer was on that list when I asked Bruce Wolf to get that for me. But there's Jack Morris, 23 career wins against the Twins.
I asked Jack the other day for no particular reason if he felt he could come back and pitch, and he said, yep, one game he could come back and pitch, and I'll bet you feel the same way. The problem would be coming back in 4 days and pitching another one.
Yeah, Bruce Wolf is down in that truck working stats and all the other things that he does. We quite haven't figured out exactly what he does, but Joe Mauer gets a base hit.
Cracked Mauer's back, but he'll take the hit, a one-out single. That'll bring up Kadire. Until Mauer's single, and I guess Valencia's double was pulled too. The other hits have been either up the middle or to the opposite field, as in Kadire's fly ball double into the right field corner. Span pulled the ball in the first inning for a seeing eye single. But that's one of Buehrle's traps, to get you to pull the ball.
Well, let's go down to Tim Lodgren, because a former hitter, I mean, when you're facing a guy like Mark Buehrle, Tim, you know, he's not going to overpower you. You almost have to wait back. Are you telling yourself, like Dick said, hit everything back up the middle?
Just get a good pitch. He is going to give you something to hit. He is not going to walk very many guys, and he is not going to strike out very many guys. Look for something to hit. Have the bat ready. He's not going to quick pitch you. He's not going to do anything dirty like that. Have the bat ready. Get a good pitch and look for something to drive, because he will give you something to hit.
Kadire pokes it foul back to the net.
Well, right there, it looked like Kadire, the ball was up, and he was trying to shoot that ball to right field.
That's just from memory for me. When the Twins have had their good games against Buehrle, the most damaging hits, and most of the hits, have gone to the opposite field. The best example was when the Twins were in position to clinch a division title a few years ago in Chicago against Buehrle and the White Sox, and Torrey Hunter hit a home run in the first inning to right field. Corey Koski hit a home run in the first inning to left field.
Watch out, Scotty Alger down at third base. That ball almost got him. Yeah, to me, Burley, he's not going to give up a lot of home runs. He's given up 10 home runs this year, this being his 19th start. Does a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. And changes speeds extremely well. Change up right there, right back to Burley, who last year won his first Rawlings Gold Glove award. And he turns a double play.
He'll win a second one this year on the basis of his spectacular play back in April. Trapper's Turn has been named by Golf Digest as one of the country's top places to play in 2008. It opened its state-of-the-art clubhouse as well as the Kalahari Golf Academy. There are 3 9-hole courses, the Canyon Course, Lake Course, and Arbor Course.
That's your swing, Dick.
It can be played in any combination. If you want to quit after 5 on one, you can jump on 4 or the other. Here's Alex Rios. 1 strike from Carl Pavano. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Well, Pavano gave up a pop fly double in the first, and Konerko connected for an RBI single, and since then he's had the White Sox eaten out of his hand. And a foul.
Well, Pavano, like any good pitcher, almost like Mark Burley, you have to get them early before they settle in and realize that, okay, what's working and what's not working. He left the pitch up to Konerko, and you have to tip your hat to Paul Konerko because he didn't try to pull that ball. He just took it to right field and picked up that RBI single.
Swing and a miss. Rios is gone. Gutierrez steps into foul territory and retires him at first. 1 away.
Pavano picking up his second strikeout.
Grand Casino story of the game. The Twins bunching 4 hits to score 3 in the second.
Yeah, Kadir started the second inning off with a double RBI single by Young, Kubal's RBI triple, and then an RBI double by Danny Valencia. And Burley is settling down now as Carl Pavano is.
Here's Konerko. Drove in the Chicago run with a 2-out single to right field. And Pavano starts him with a belt-high strike. Bounced foul into the Chicago dugout. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan, and many, many other ports of call. Welcome to our broadcast.
Yes, our prayers are with you, and thank you. Thank you for your service. We love you all, and get home safe.
Konerko with a high fly to left.
Young going back at the wall, and it'll carry into the seats. A fly ball that got just over the barrier for a solo home run, and it's 3-2.
Well, Konerko very strong, and that ball up a little bit, and he just fought it off and hit it a long way. Got up there, and again, we're seeing the ball carry a little bit here at Target Field for Paul Konerko, driving in his second run on his 21st home run of the year. Opened up quickly. Got that ball up in the air. Got the barrel of the bat. See how quick his hands are. Able to get it up, and Delman Young goes back, but just runs out of room.
So 3-2, and Konerko's driven in both Chicago runs. Here's Carlos Quentin. Quentin had his bat broken twice by Pavano in his second inning at bat. Ended up hitting a little roller back to the mound. And a strike that covers the inside corner. The White Sox have the only 2 home runs in this series. Solo shots 2 nights ago by Beckham, and now tonight by Konerko.
Yeah, that home run allowed by Pavano, that was his 15th home run allowed. 9 solo home runs, 4 2-run home runs, and a couple 3-run home runs that Pavano has given up this year. Carroll wants it inside. He left it up. This is the changeup.
And he got him. And Quentin was a strikeout victim for out number 2. You can visit the online shop of the Minnesota Twins. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family at twinsbaseball.com.
And Purcella Rogloski celebrating her 100th birthday. So happy birthday to you, Purcella.
Well, Twins got a win for Purcella. Here's Katze at a fly ball to Span, his first time up. Liner into center, another 2-out hit for Chicago. Tying run aboard with 2 gone, and that'll bring Pierzynski to the plate. Harold Baines not here. Omer Munoz is filling in for the great Chicago slugger, outfielder, designated hitter Harold Baines, who's had knee replacement surgery, and Munoz taking over the first base coaching duties. Here's Pierzynski, a fly ball to left, his first time up. A double hit. Just 1 strike, though.
No, it should be 2.
Just 1. Tigers lost a 4-3 ball game this afternoon to the Indians. Justin Verlander did not protect an early 3-0 lead. Indians came back to beat him. Kerry Wood put on the disabled list with a blister. It's the 14th time in his career that Wood has been on the disabled list. So Robert Perez getting the save for the Indians. 1-1. And the Indians, of course, come to town after the White Sox leave Sunday. 3 games here with the Indians. 1-1 to Pierzynski. Winning pitcher for the Indians this afternoon is Fausto Carmona. That'll mean the Twins will miss Carmona in the 3-game series. They'll also miss Mitch Talbot, who's starting the nightcap for the Indians.
A couple throwovers right there to Katze at first base. Katze with 1 stolen base in 3 attempts.
Twins with 35 steals, White Sox with 81 on the season. A little role reversal from what we saw years ago when the Twins were the team with the speed, and of course most of the Chicago speed with their leadoff hitter Juan Pierre.
And Alex Rios, those 2 guys. There's Alex Rios.
Rios, if he turns it on in the second half, he might be the first 30-30 guy in White Sox history. 30 stolen bases and 30 home runs. And a one-hopper to Kadair. A run for the White Sox. Konerko got one up and out to pull the White Sox to within one.
Sports North is brought to you by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. By Lincoln Mercury. Visit your local Lincoln Mercury dealer or go to experiencelm.com. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Delman Young just hit a very long, very foul fly ball on the first pitch from Mark Burley, and now Burley misses the inside corner. It's 1-1.
He hit that in an area that I guarantee you not too many people brought their gloves to the ballpark. That was a Toby Hara foul ball right there when I played with him in Cleveland. And here off the end of the bat, Delman Young's going to get his second hit of the ball game.
Leadoff single in the fourth for Delman Young. Today he was in Brooklyn Park helping support the Rolling Twins softball team. The Minnesota Twins are competing with 14 other Major League Baseball teams for a $200,000 Pepsi Refresh grant. They want to create a specialty softball field for Courage Center's Junior Rolling Twins wheelchair softball team. The team now plays in a parking lot and desperately needs a home field. And if you'd like more information, go to MLB.com/Pepsi Refresh.
I tell you what, the Twins players, there's so many players that give so much back. And what a great experience for Delman Young to just witness what those people have to go through.
You know, I think one of the things that's been interesting, and it's subtle, Young refers to the Twins more and more as us and we, and feeling, I think, more a part of the team. I mentioned the other night he spent his all-star break in Minnesota, and I think fans certainly have embraced him as he's become a more productive hitter. 2-0 to Kubel. And Young frozen and picked off. Second pickoff for Burley.
Well, he has that type of move, like a Steve Carlton type move that puts you to sleep. You think that he's going to go home, and then all of a sudden he'll throw over, and Delman Young doesn't have a big lead. But you can see kind of jumping back at the bag, and that allows Konerko to apply the tag.
Kubel checks his swing, but it's a strike, 2-1.
Now 72 career pickoffs for Mark Burley in his career. Wow.
A little pop fly on a busted bat. Beckham with the catch, out number 2. And they'll bring up Valencia. You can ask a question of us online at carsoup.com/baseball. Michelle Anderson of Apple Valley wondering how Glenn Perkins is doing at AAA. He had been doing pretty well until last night. Kind of a disappointing outing last night. Here's Valencia. Lifts it foul and out of play.
Perkins has made 19 starts down at AAA Rochester. 3 wins, 8 losses, an ERA at 7. 124 hits in 91 and a third innings.
He had a couple of good starts in a row, and then last night didn't have the best of starts. The Twins would love to be able to see continued improvement from Perkins. He's a guy who has proven to be not just a major league pitcher, but a dominant one at times. He's not going to strike out a lot of people, but remember early in the season last year, he was Minnesota's best starter. 1-2 to Valencia. And a called third strike. And Burley gives up a leadoff single, faces just 3 men in the inning. Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the Thirst Inning. We'll check out the crowd through the Thirst Inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do. Champion's Tale, the first near vertical looping water slide. You can also ride the Black Anaconda, America's longest water coaster, and Time Warp, America's largest bowl ride. Younger kids and some adults will love the Tadpole Bay Kiddie Kingdom. The 4D dive-in theater. Here's a one-hopper to Danny Valencia. And a quick first out here in the 5th. And they say for kids, the kiddie area, but there's nothing wrong with, is there, if an adult goes in there and enjoys.
Sounds like you've been on that.
Well, a more modest form of water park entertainment.
Sounds like you've been on that ride.
One gone. Here's Gordon Beckham. And a strike. Beckham in a fly ball to Jason Kubel in right, his first time up.
I mentioned last night Beckham has had good numbers against the Twins. Coming into this ball game, a .358 hitter against the Twins. Here's a guy that, as again, that's a great pitch right there. A beautiful sound of that jam shot.
Pavano breaking a lot of bats here. He's gotten a couple of quick outs here in the 5th.
But, Alzagian was thinking maybe, hey, what do we do with Gordon Beckham? Because he's really struggling in that sophomore jinx. But he's picked it up a little bit here over the last couple of weeks.
And they say that one of the reasons they did not send him down, he didn't take his bat at bats into the field. He didn't hang his head. He kept some enthusiasm and some positive attitude. And we saw that last year with Alexi Casilla. I think the consensus was Alexi got off to a poor start and then carried it out in the field.
Right.
There's a pop foul back into the seats.
Hey, you talk to guys that are veterans that are, you're going to go through spells that you're not going to hit. Every pitch you hit seems like we've seen Kadire do that. Hit the ball right at somebody, but he doesn't take it out on the defense with him. He knows that it's half of the game. You hit, and then you also play defense.
3 weak ground balls, and Hudson shovels it to Pierre. A 6-pitch, 1-2-3-5 for Pavano.
And we are in the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle. We've got a couple of winners over here, Mike and Bev Bird from Sioux Falls.
Yes.
Welcome, friends. And I just thought, you know what? You look so nice. I know you're here for a big reason. You got it written right here on your sign.
Yep.
You're married 37 years
Yes.
to the same person.
Same person.
Okay, that's a prerequisite if you want these scratch-off tickets. You get $100 worth of Minnesota State Lottery scratch-offs. You're okay with that, right?
Yes.
How well do you know each other really after 37 years? Do you even like baseball?
Yes. Yes.
What's with the sunglasses at a night game?
I'll take them off.
You know, in my line of work, typically I see a guy wearing sunglasses. He's either a felon or on the run from somebody.
I just got over a black eye. No.
Oh, yeah, great. Boy, you really gave him one good, didn't you? All righty. Well, Dick and Bert, here are your winners tonight. Congratulations. And on the anniversary as well.
Thank you.
And on the lottery tickets, of course.
Yeah, Mike, they're hereby circled. I like that. Anthony LaPanta always wears sunglasses, too, so I think he's more of a felon.
Well, Mark Burley has struck out 2 men. Both of them have been called third strikes, and they've come in the last 2 at bats. He got Valencia to wrap up the 4th, and now Hardy to start the 5th. There's Drew Butera. Pop up short center field. And almost out of the glove of Rios. He snared it in the webbing. Out number 2.
Well, he called, Ramirez off. Beckham was headed out that way, too, but it's Ramirez that had to listen for that outfielder, and it's Rios right here calling him off at the last second. And Ramirez just kind of turning his back. What you'd like that middle infielder to do is get out of the way a little bit.
Well, 2 quick outs here in the 5th. Burley is about to throw his 60th pitch. Twins bunch 4 hits together to score 3 runs.
This is another reason, Dick, that this guy pitches 200 innings plus a year. Because you know what? He's very efficient as far as attacking the strike zone. He changes speeds extremely well, tries to get quick outs. He'll pick up some strikeouts, but he makes the guy swing the bat.
In left field, Pierre makes the catch, and 1, 2, 3. The Twins go quickly on 7 pitches in the 5th. you very much. And on the subject of weather, we've got some more serious stuff heading this way. We understand up in St. Cloud right now, another line of thunderstorms is coming through. Oh, Pavano knocks it down, underhands it. Vizquel retired on a pitch, and where did it hit him?
I think he got glove on it. I'm not sure, but the ball hit off of Pavano and came right back. Or dropped right in front of him. He says he's okay as he's motioning toward Ron Gardenhire in the dugout.
They wave goodbye to each other. That's a good sign. Well, just regarding the weather, we mentioned at the outset, not really knowing for sure. Here's Pavano getting the glove up just in time. I think it got him in the left elbow area, maybe.
Yeah, kind of ricocheted off that left arm, hit him in the chest area. Big man, he's okay.
Here's Rios. And a pitch up, ball one. If in fact we have about another hour, that might be enough, the way Pavano and Burley are dealing here tonight, to get this game in before an interruption. 2-0. To Alex Rios. And a strike. Why don't more pitchers do what Pavano and Burley are doing?
Good question. I have no idea. You know, I mean, you get into a good rhythm, good defense played behind you. Guys are ready for the ball, like Hudson right there, going to his right, gets the ball. Don't know.
2 Chicago runs, both driven in by Paul Konerko, including his Coors Light Cold Hard Blast tonight.
Yeah, his 21st home run of the year came with 1 out in the 4th inning. Got the ball airborne, and Delman Young, the ball just clearing the fence for a solo home run.
So Konerko with an opposite field single for a run, scoring a base hit in the first, and then the fly ball that carried over the fence and left. Indians have tied up the Tigers at 1. Carlos Santana with a solo home run.
You see what Pavano's doing right now? He's kind of walking behind the rubber. He knows exactly what he wants to throw right here. All right, back up. Okay, let's go. Once he gets the sign he wants, okay, let's go.
Ooh, Konerko almost swung out of his shoes. 1-1.
Now that breaking ball, Konerko swinging through. Let's see, let's go. Get in that box. I'm ready to go.
You know, from what we've seen, and it's maybe not the best time to judge the overall season because the White Sox pitching and playing very well. There's a bouncer foul, 1-2. But what we've seen from Danks and Floyd earlier in this series, it's apparent they paid attention to Burley. They picked up their tempo, and they've got better stuff probably than Burley does at this point in their careers. And that's what some would say the Twins' younger starters need to do watching Pavano.
Well, I mean, the pitching coach, Don Cooper, I'm sure, stresses that. Hey, get on that pitching rubber. Let's go. We're going to have better defense behind us. We don't want to be out on this field for 3.5 hours. Make him swing the bat. And he does right there. So Pavano is retired now 7 straight, picking up his 4th strikeout.
And took him all at 9 pitches to have a 1-2-3-6. in the Coors Light Freeze Cam.
Well, one thing about Mark Burley, you see him lift that leg. He doesn't go behind that pitching rubber and then steps over there and picks Delman Young off. Second pickoff of the ball game. That span in the first inning.
Two Hopper to third. Easy play for Vizquel, and Hudson gone on one pitch. There's the 45-degree rule, right? For a left-hander, and it's put there to determine whether the pitcher has stepped towards home plate or towards first base.
Yeah, there's a couple things. Once he lifts that leg up, if that foot goes behind the pitching rubber, then he has to go home. But if he lifts it up, you can see that angle is almost like right there. If he steps on the other side of that toward home plate, that's a balk. He's been called a couple balks this year. But again, you know, he has 27 more pickoffs in his career than Andy Pettit. And Pettit's been pitching forever.
I thought you were going to say 27 more pickoffs and stolen bases allowed. There's Mauer. He got a broken bat single his last time up. And for Mauer, 6 hits now in the series. And the batting average where we've expected it all along, back over 300. The designated hitter tonight for the Twins, and very likely the catcher tomorrow in the series finale. One and two. You say one of the reasons Burley has been so effective and so durable this year, he finally took their advice and got in a extreme shoulder strengthening program during the off season, and he reported to a spring training this year in better pitching shape. Here's a soft liner to the shortstop, out number 2. Better pitching shape than he has in the past, and now in the second half of the year it's starting to pay off for him. 2 gone, and Kadire coming to the plate. Our AT&T trivia question: which White Sox player has hit the most home runs all time against the Twins? Well, it's got to be Frank Thomas, doesn't it?
I would think so.
He hit a few for Oakland, a few for Toronto, including his 500th here in the Twin Cities for the Blue Jays.
Konerko's been moving up that ladder, but I still think Mr. Thomas has the most home runs against the Twins as a Chicago White Sox.
Frank's doing some pregame TV work for the White Sox, and will go into the Hall of Fame in a few years, one would think.
Guys in a truck are saying Dick Allen. No, that was just against me.
Yeah, that was yesterday, too.
Yeah.
2-2 to Kadire. Kadire hit a fly ball down the right field line he thought was going to twist foul, but it stayed fair, a ground rule double, and that was the first of 4 hits. There's a line shot to center, and it got to Rios in a hurry. Kadire has his second hit. Twins got 4 hits to start the second inning, and that's when they scored their 3 runs.
Yeah, 8 hits now for the Twins against Mark Burley. And half of those coming in that 3-run second inning, but Kadire weighted back nicely, and that's what we were talking to Tim Laudner about. You know, you try to hit that ball sharply right back up the middle, and Kadire able to do that.
Young has a pair of singles, a run scored, and a run batted in. Fouled back. Nothing good about Justin Morneau being out of the lineup, but one of the effects of it, Delman Young hitting more in the middle of the lineup, and the way he's produced, he's a powering pop-up near first base. It's a 12-pitch inning, and Young is retired. We head to the 7th in a 1-run game. Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1, and every large soft drink comes in a Justin Morneau cup. I'm loving it. By Toyota. There are many reasons to buy a Toyota, and now's the perfect time to get yours during Toyota's National Clearance Event. And by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. Twins in front 3-2, a rapidly paced game. We're beginning the 7th inning. Carlos Quentin stands in.
Well, we kind of knew that going into the ball game with both these starters that like to get back on that pitching rubber as quick as possible. 79 pitches for Pavano.
2-0, Quest high-speed pitch brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet.
Well, Mark Burley topping out at 88, Pavano at 92. Again, guys that don't throw hard but know how to pitch.
And another weak ground ball. Valencia sets and fires. A long time since the White Sox have gotten the ball out of the infield on the Mountain Dew game summary.
Well, 3-run second inning for the Twins that came off the bat of Jason Kubo, an RBI triple. And then the next batter, Danny Valencia, hitting an RBI double. And for the Chicago White Sox, Konerko, an RBI single in the first, and then a solo home run in the 4th inning, his 21st of the year.
Here's Kotze. This is my kind of a pitcher's duel. There have been 5 runs on the board, but when you think of pitcher's duel, you think about Justin Verlander against Felix Hernandez. But you've got 2 guys with guile who know how to pitch, who throw strikes, and to me, this is infinitely more entertaining than watching somebody throwing 96, 97 miles per hour trying to strike everybody out.
I mean, you know what? I mean, these guys, I call them pitchers. They know how to pitch. Add and subtract. Take a little off, put a little on. Talked about that about Pavano in the scouting report, the Jeep scouting report, but Mark Burley, the same thing. Add a little bit, work in and out, try to work that pitch down and in. Ahead in the count. I'd say a base hit in his last at-bat in the 4th inning. 8 ground ball out so far for Pavano.
And a called 3rd strikeout, number 2.
He went back in. The previous pitch, he went with the breaking ball, so he goes back with that fastball. And Kotze has some words with home plate umpire Mark Wagner, but Pavano picking up his 5th strikeout. Going back inside again, Drew Butera right there. Pitcher's pitch, inner half. And the ball coming back a little bit.
The type of pitch you get when you're a pitcher who's been around the plate for an hour and 40 minutes.
It's why important. If your catcher moves inside, if you miss inside. Butera now sitting away.
Hardy cuts it off behind the bag, and Kadire got it on the rebound. It came out of the glove, but he found it in time, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Carl Pavano.
Great play by J.J. Hardy up the middle. And a nice pick by Kadire. Again,
Celebrating the comeback of Lake Delton, refilled and restocked after draining the year before. Turns out lake attractions are more popular than ever. The 90-minute Tommy Bartlett Show, a staple of the resort town, combines extreme water skiing and masterful boat maneuvering. And Quest Twins live coming from the Dells after the game. And when we're driving home from the game, it looks like we might not need our headlights. Windshield wipers maybe, but not our headlights.
Let's hope not. Well, Burley, very good pitch count. 75 pitches right now. 50 have been strikes. Both starters have not walked anybody. Pavano with 5 strikeouts. Burley with a couple.
Kubel with a triple off the wall in center field. Part of a 4-hit, 3-run barrage back in the second. Hey, Jason Kubel is just a single, double, and home run away from the cycle. If Benji Molina can do it, Kubel's already done it, but imagine Benji Molina getting a triple to complete the cycle last night.
Good for him. Good for him.
Now, he left the game with a pulled quadricep muscle after well, I can't even use the term legging out a triple. He got there.
He's a big man. Got a lot of good years at the major league level.
Full count to Kubel. He and Michael Kadire each hit for the cycle last year for the Twins.
You know, one thing about Mark Burley, baseball wants to speed up games, and, he's one of the best at it. His starts this year has averaged just about 2 hours and 40 minutes per start. And you wonder why. The guy gets the ball and he throws it. Picks up his 3rd strikeout.
Valencia will hit next with 1 out in the 7th inning. Our trivia question, is it Paul Konerko? Is it Frank Thomas? Is it Bill Milton? Is it Dick Allen? Who is it?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. Thomas, who hit his 500th home run, as we said before, against the Twins as a member of the Blue Jays. Figures, you think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, Frank Thomas?
Frank Thomas, yes, I do. He should be, but, it's tough to be on that first ballot.
Down and into Valencia, 1-1.
Or to get voted in on the first ballot.
I was disappointed Robbie Alomar didn't get his first ballot selection. He'll be going in soon. Whitey Herzog going in, is it a week from tomorrow, I believe, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony?
25th. We will be in Baltimore.
Probably means Mr. Ripken won't be there when we get there. Well, a Hall of Famer will probably be in Cooperstown. Foul back. Decent chance the Orioles are going to have a permanent manager by the time we get there. More and more rumors about Buck Showalter being offered and taking the job soon. Juan Samuel.
Recycled.
1-2. Valencia toward the hole, backhanded by Ramirez. He's pretty smooth, isn't he? 2 down.
Very nice play. Got rid of that ball very quickly.
If you missed out on the first Twins tradition wall at Target Field, you've got a second chance. Have your name or your family name etched permanently on the Target Plaza by participating in the Tradition Walls program's second phase. Call 877-TWIN-WALL and get your place on the Twins tradition wall. If you'd like, go to twinsbaseball.com as well.
I'd like to see Juan Samuel keep that job and see what he can do with it.
Now to his left a couple of steps.
These managers just get to recycle.
A 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th, and we charge forward to the 8th. throughout the area. For all you outdoor enthusiasts, one of the more popular sites, Yogi Bear's Camp Resort and Water Playground. Great for adults and kids. Everything from luxury cabins to more rustic tent sites. They even have their own version of the outdoor water park. We'll be at Noah's Ark. Quest Twins live right after the game. Carl Pavano and the Twins would like to make that just 6 outs from now.
Well, Pavano's retired 10 straight.
He's gotten Ramirez twice on tappers to third. Another tapper foul, 1-1. 88 pitches for Pavano as the Twins starting rotation cycled out of control about a month ago. Pavano pitched 2 9-inning complete games on the road against the Phillies and against the Mets. Hardy over to Kadire. Another weak ground ball for a first out.
Yeah, 10 ground ball outs so far for Pavano. 5 fly ball outs to go along with his 5 strikeouts.
In those back-to-back 9-inning complete games, he threw a total of 215 pitches, gave up just 7 hits, 1 run on a home run.
We saw Francisco Liriano right there. Great job last night, winning his 7th game of the year.
Beckham fouls it back. Beckham with a fly to right and a grounder to Valencia. Base hit for Beckham. Punching it through the middle, a 1-out single here in the 8th. And that'll bring up Pierre.
Yeah, White Sox hit their 6th hit of the ball game.
Pierre with one of the Chicago hits. A 2-out single in the 3rd. He stole second on the very next pitch, but then was left there when Vizquel struck out to end the inning. And strike one. We have darkening skies here at the ballpark, and another wave of thunderstorms coming right now up around the St. Cloud area and in the far north suburbs of the Twin Cities. There are some new weather warnings, and we encourage you to check it out at MyFox 9. More information coming, and apparently more thunderstorms coming here to the Twin Cities area. Pavano lets it go. Out at second. Hudson turns and fires, and just barely beating it out is Pierre in a close play. Pavano, who had a line drive come right back at him, had this one go by him. But the Twins nearly pulled off a big double play.
Yeah, we've seen J.J. Hardy here tonight make some nice defensive plays. That ball going right over the top of Pavano. And you can see him get out of the way. He tried to get it, but there's a little flip from behind. And Hudson's throw. And the speedy Pierre just beats it out. Nice stretch right there by Michael Kadire.
So now Pierre at first. He represents the tying run, and he wasted little time in stealing second back in the 3rd inning. Big leg kick, and Vizquel taps it foul.
Well, again, it came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, and then he was able to strike out Omar Vizquel. So Pierre, who has 33 stolen bases, most in the American League, will try to get to second base. But again, Pavano, his goal right here is to get Omar Vizquel, the hitter at the plate, out.
When Pierre stole second, Butera had a throw sail on it, and it went into center field, but Pierre was unable to advance. But again, Butera does a nice job behind the plate when given a chance to throw a runner out.
And a lot of those right there, Pavano throwing over, have come from the dugout. As Drew Butera looking in at Steve Little. And Steve Little will be looking down at Jeff Cox, the third base coach. Pierre, one of those base runners, he doesn't really need the sign. He's pretty much got the green light.
And he goes. Butera's throw. Got him! A perfect strike by Butera to end the 8th inning.
What an arm right there. Great throw by Drew Butera.
On your Minnesota teams, click on the Twins tab to see Delman Young at the Courage Center softball game and to read Phil Miller's blog on Jesse Crane. Click on the Gophers tab to see Anthony LaPanta's interview with Eric Decker. Mike McCullough goes one-on-one with Darko Milicic, and the Wolves section and the Wild players enjoying the Twins game. Just hit the Wild tab. Drew Butera leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. Great throw. Pop up behind first, chased by Beckham, by Konerko. And it is Beckham who reaches out to make a fair ball catch, one away.
I don't know if Quentin would have been able to get there, but it's Beckham, the second baseman, had to go a long way to make a nice running catch. Ball in fair territory. Beckham reaching up.
One down, back to the top of the order, and Denard Span. John Roush not warming up. Ron Gardenhire, in talking about Roush last night after the game, said it was just the post-All-Star game syndrome, and he'd love to get him back out there in a safe situation tonight, but Pavano is sailing along so smoothly. Roush still has his warm-up on out in the bullpen.
95 pitches for Pavano, a guy that is kind of from the old school. He wants to finish what he starts. He's done a great job here tonight. And Burley trying to get through his 8th inning of work.
A little nubber. Burley will get Span again. 2 away. We're about, what, an hour and 44 minutes into this game? And we're almost into the 9th inning. 2 down, and here's Hudson. A little bit of a smirk for Burley. He and Span have had some good-natured jostling, verbal jousting throughout the game tonight. Hudson has not gotten the ball out of the infield. Up and away, ball 1.
Well, one thing I have seen from Mark Burley over these years, since 2000 when he first came up, he won his first major league game against the Twins back in July of 2000.
That's hit to the gap in right center, and Quentin drops the ball. Hudson around first. He'll hold up there. And Quentin looked like he tried to fight the lights a little bit toward the end.
Yeah, line drive right there with the lights. The ball hit in the glove and popped out. Hudson hitting it sharply. Quentin going to his right. And the ball hitting his glove and popping out. Hudson should be rewarded a base hit, which he is, I believe.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. I think they've got the 8th hit up on the board. Well, we had 8 hits before, though.
Right. That's why I was kind of waiting to see what the official score does.
Well, it gets Mauer to the plate with a man aboard and 2 out.
And they do give him a hit.
Okay. Mauer has a hit. Hit a soft line drive to the shortstop Ramirez his last time up. Skied to center and hit right at Rios. And the bottom of the 8th comes to a close on 9 pitches. And Pavano will go out and try to pick up another complete game.
Post-game show for you coming up on the Quest Twins live show, including, of course, the Toyota post-game wrap, a pitcher's duel. As you've been watching, Mark Burley battling with Carl Pavano. We're going to talk about that. Delman Young delivers again, another couple of hits and an RBI, and we're going to hear from Gardy and Ozzie. Some reaction to tonight's game, which is flying by. Quest Twins live, that is right after the game, which at this pace, Dick and Bert could be in seconds.
Well, we hope so, Mike. Thank you.
1 strike to Omar Vizquel, to be followed by Rios and Konerko. And that's a fair ball down the line, and Vizquel's going to start the 9th with a hit. Young playing the carom, but Vizquel has an extra base hit to start the 9th inning. And that might get the bullpen fired up for the Twins. I just found it interesting. Not only Pavano out there to start the inning, the Twins didn't have anybody warming up to start the inning.
Well, Pavano at 95 pitches, a guy that, we've been rolling along, and look at this swing right there by Omar Vizquel. I mean, that's the veteran right there, taking that pitch the other way, getting his first hit on his 6th double of the year. And now Rick Anderson, you saw him on the phone, down to the bullpen.
And it's Matt Guerrero getting the call. Brent Lillibridge in the game to run for Vizquel. Rios takes a strike on the outside corner, so the tying run at second, nobody out. And the thunder for the White Sox coming up. Ryan Dunsing warming up as well. Nubbed off the end of the bat. It'll advance the runner. Kadire to the bag, 1 away. So another weak ground ball, and now we'll see what the Twins do here, bringing the infield in perhaps with Konerko at the plate.
Well, Drew Butera is going to go out and talk to Carl Pavano.
Discontent from the fans for some reason, and I don't know what it is. Almost like Ron Gardenhire came to the mound, but some fans are booing. There's a Toyota game reset.
Well, Pavano so far 8 1/3 innings, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Burley 8 very good innings, no walks, 3 strikeouts.
And here comes Rick Anderson.
Well, I was wondering why, and I think it's just a delay to allow Matt Guerrero and Dunsing to get some more throws in right there. Why they didn't come out and talk about this to see what they want to do. They want to walk Konerko, set up a double play situation.
Well, the chant apparently came up from White Sox fans here. Paul Lee for Konerko, and the fans booing the White Sox chant. Going walking Konerko, that would go against, the unwritten rule about walking the go-ahead run. You've got a hot and dangerous hitter, Quentin, in the on-deck circle. But Konerko's been the guy who's done all the damage for the White Sox against Pavano.
Pavano was able to strike him out in his last at-bat in the 6th inning. The infield in. They'll try to cut down the run at home.
Konerko with an opposite field single to drive in the first run of the game. And then the home run that made it a 3-2 game, which is where we stand now with 1 out in the 9th. Swing and a miss. Konerko struck out last night to end the game. Jesse Crain threw him nothing but breaking ball.
I threw him a great changeup right there at 79 miles an hour.
One strike to Konerko. Fouled away, 2 strikes. And that might be the last fastball he gets.
Konerko got a fastball in the first inning, got that base hit to right. Then he got a fastball in that he opened up very quickly, and he got that fastball in on him that Konerko fouled off.
Is this fun or what? A very well-pitched game for both teams. Pavano trying to finish it off here in the 9th. Two strikes to Konerko. Got him, 2 down.
I went back to that changeup, 80-mile-an-hour changeup in a great location down and away. So on 3 pitches, Carl Pavano gets the second out here in the top of the 9th inning. See the bottom just drop out of that from that Bosch ball.
Both the catcher and the pitcher reacted on the second out of the inning. You can imagine how they'll react if they can get Quentin. Couple of weak ground balls and a strikeout for Quentin. The tying run 90 feet away. And a fastball. And Quentin takes it. And we'll see if he gets another fastball.
He just saw, he strike out Konerko on 2 out of the 3 with a changeup. And then he says, okay, let's get strike 1. Here's a fastball.
Bouncer to short. Hardy has it. Pavano with a brilliant complete game, and the Twins pick up another win against Chicago.
4th complete game of the year for Carl Pavano. His 11th win. What a ball game between these 2 ball clubs right here.
Pavano smiling, and give a little bit of credit, maybe a lot of the credit, to his catcher, Drew Butera, who caught another superb game.
1 hour and 52 minutes it took for Carl Pavano to beat Mark Burley here this evening. Could almost be afternoon. Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Carl Pavano winning his 11th game in a nail-biter in the 9th inning, but Pavano held on.
Hey, Mike Pomerantz, you can come back anytime. Your first game here, and we get done in less than 2 hours.
Hey, guys, I'll tell you what. I can't believe the speed of this game. I'm looking at my notes. I'm just throwing them up in the air. Coming up today on Quest Twins Live, the post-game wrap. It has been a heck of a pitcher's duel. Carl Pavano, Mark Burley, heck of a story there. Of course, we'll have the manager's reaction.